everybody interested in Costa Rica. If you're here on this channel, you're probably researching Costa Rica. So today I'm going to chat about the different ways that you can get around Costa Rica and what I've had experience in. So, getting around in Costa Rica could be by car, bus, taxi, and something actually I didn't write down was there are little charter flights going out to like different areas as well, but I'm not really going to go into that too much because I mainly want to talk about this for people who are moving here or are going to be here long term. If you hear some noise in the background, my neighbors over there are doing construction. Okay, so cars. A lot of people have a question if they're going to move here, spend a lot of time here. They want to know, do I need to have a car to get around? So do you need a car? Like, if so, how much are they? How much do they usually cost? What are kind of like the yearly fees? Those kinds of things. So I do have a car here. I didn't have a car for years. I got a car about a year and a half ago, and it has made my life easier. But before that, I just made sure I was living in places that I was able to walk around to get to what I needed and to be close enough to a community that was still comfortable without a car, even with having a baby. So, okay, do you need a car? So I would definitely evaluate where you're going to live if you need a car. If you're going to live somewhere like up a mountain a bit, yeah, you're going to need a car, unless you want to walk up a really big hill to get to your home with your groceries or all that stuff. Probably not recommended. I have lived in more remote places without a car. This was pre-baby, pre-child. Doable if you're in good health and like physical work for your body. But if you're not so into that and you think having a car might make your life easier, and then I would definitely recommend getting one. So how much are they? Okay, so for example, cars are more expensive here. For example, mine is a 1999 Suzuki Grand Vitara. If you can see it over there. There it is, right over there. It was $6,000. It's a 1999. So yeah, any decent car is probably going to cost more than $5,000 here. It's not likely going to be a newer model. Some people do ask about, oh, well, I already have a car where I'm living. Should I just drive it down? That's an option, but then the import taxes are going to be pretty big. So most people end up selling their cars in the United States and then purchasing one here. Not to say that people haven't driven them down. If money's not much of a factor for you and you love your car, go for it. One thing I will say is whenever you're purchasing a car, make sure that it's a car that's commonly found here, because if you're going to be in Costa Rica, you're inevitably going to have repairs just because there's a lot of dirt roads, there's potholes, all kinds of stuff. So you want to pick a car that's going to be a brand that's common down here, so that if you do need replacement parts or you need things, it's going to be not too expensive to get a hold of, and the mechanics that are here are going to be familiar on how to work on your car. So definitely do some research. Like a Suzuki is a good car to have down here. I see a lot of different types of Suzukis. And there are some other cars that are down here that are very common that, it's pretty easy to find parts for repairs. So yeah, buying a car, you go through a process with a lawyer to do the paperwork. So what I did when I bought my car is I went to a car broker. This was someone that was in San Jose. Actually, I have a video about buying a car in Costa Rica, so feel free to go check on that too. I went to a car broker, long story short. They helped me pick out a car. They did the mechanic check. They made sure it was a nice car. And then they took me to the lawyer and we did the paperwork together to transfer the paperwork. And then the lawyer just mailed me the new title. Some things, if you are going to have a car, is every year you're going to have to pay something called marchamo. That's kind of like the taxes / insurance on the car. It needs to be paid by the first of the year every year. I think my marchamo is probably about $200 or a little less. Again, that's because I probably have an older make car. It's an older model. That will increase if you have a newer car. And okay, so that's it about cars. So yeah, if you want to have a car, have a car. If you can, definitely do it. It's great. But you can live here without a car. So another way to get around would be buses. So I did that all the time. I like the buses. I found them to be clean. They were on time. I really liked the buses. I thought they were fine. But again, you're going to kind of have to rearrange your schedule or whatever you're doing for that day based on the bus schedules. And you definitely, if you're going to be taking buses, arrive to the bus stop earlier than when the bus is expected to get there. Sometimes the bus might be late, sometimes it might be on time, sometimes it might be early. So just prepare for that. There are lots of available buses around, I would say, the country. If you're out in more remote areas, it might be a little bit more limited, but I think the buses here, in my experience personally, have been great. And I think that's a nice way to get around. It's very cost efficient and pretty comfortable. Some buses have air conditioning, well, maybe like the longer tripped ones, but other of them, you just got to open up the window, let the air flow in. And then I have taxi, Uber. So I have experience with this when I used to live in San Jose. That's where I had my daughter. I didn't have a car at that point, so I either used taxi or Uber. The thing about Uber is it's not legal here, but people do still use it. I personally preferred using Uber because all my Uber drivers were amazing and nice. Even after I had my C-section, I called an Uber to go to the hospital to have my kid. And then on the way back, my Uber driver even helped me up the stairs. I don't know. I just really had a great experience with Uber while I was here. It's not legal. I guess they're not supposed to be operating here. So the taxi drivers actually get pretty upset about Uber. But for me personally, I didn't have to worry about being driven around in circles and having them overcharge me or being ripped off. So that's kind of the option that I took. But if you do need to go a distance, taxis are also an option as well. So yeah, I would say that's all I have to say about getting around in Costa Rica. You can get around by foot, get yourself to a bus. If you have the money, go ahead and buy a car. You could also rent a car. There are these bigger rental agencies like what we have in North America, or there are more informal rentals. That's something else to help my clients with. Maybe someone who's just renting out their car that also has insurance, things like that. So that's also a good option if you'd like maybe a rental car at a cheaper price. I help my clients organize those as well. And yeah, and then the taxis and Uber. Oh, so I'm down here in the South Pacific. We don't have Uber. We do have taxis, and I do like the taxis here. I have they're like local people. They're nice. They're not out to rip you off. It's a good community. So I do use, if my car's been in the repair shop, or if I've had friends staying over and I can't drive them somewhere, you can always call a taxi in this area. And usually you can find the number to a nice taxi driver. Most towns will have an information office. So you can even call that information tourist office, and they can help you with a taxi. Or if you're staying in a hotel or an Airbnb, those people probably have taxi numbers on hand as well. So yeah, that's all. If you have any questions about how to get around Costa Rica, anything about Costa Rica, I offer expat services, helping people kind of get settled in here, whether it's for a move or long term. Been here for over 4.5 years, have my daughter here, been figuring it out along the way, so just trying to share whatever knowledge I can so people can kind of help and decide if this is a good place for them, whether it's to visit long term or if they're thinking about relocating. I think it's important to know, first of all, get a good feel for the country and see if this really is going to be a space that is going to feel good for you. And yeah, feel free to check in the description box on the website below for any further information about how I help others. Definitely scroll through some of the other YouTube videos. I put as much information as I can. There's a lot more in my brain I need to put out. But yeah, just always let me know if you have any questions. Everybody have